Why we sleep, to sleep perchance to dream. I am very grateful to someone who came to the last retreat in May, and during the retreat she gave me a book, and it's called Why We Sleep. And sometimes in your life you get presented with a book. She gave it to me, totally unexpected, and what an eye-opener that book is. I've learned so much about sleep and about dreaming. And the thing I want to share with you more than anything else, I've got such a respect, such a deep, abiding appreciation for the capacity to sleep. And I now understand how important it is for human beings to do so. So let me talk you through it. So when you go to sleep, first of all, what happens is you lose consciousness. And you lose consciousness, and you then slip into a different brain rhythm. And this is called the NREM sleep state. And it's a wonderful state. So you go to bed, you go to sleep, and within 30 to 40 minutes you'll go into your first big dose of NREM sleep. And this is what happens. There's a pulsing that sets up in your frontal lobes. Your frontal lobes of your cerebral hemisphere start sending this rhythmic pulse, and it pulses all the way through the whole of the brain. And what this does is it calms everything down, and it promotes healing at a series of levels. You actually get stages 1, 2, 3 and 4 NREM sleep. They've all got their gifts, they've got their advantages. Stage 2 is particularly important for certain things. Stage 4 is particularly important for the deepest forms of healing. So here's the thing. People, when they live their everyday lives, mostly they go to bed in a state of stimulation, because they've been online, or they've been on social media, they've been watching TV, seeing something dramatic and exciting. So there's an issue today in modern society where people go to bed all hyped up. The other thing they might do is they might take stimulants. Drinking lots of tea and coffee is going to hype you up even more. So this means that when most people go to sleep and they dive into their NREM state, they don't ever get to reach stage 4, which is a serious issue for people. So this is what I've learned. NREM sleep's the first step. The second step is what we call the REM sleep, and this is the rapid eye movement, and we know about this. This is what we do when we dream. And what I've understood also is that whenever we dream, whatever we dream about, what that is all about is actually processing all the experiences of the day through the subconscious mind. And the subconscious mind then presents it to us in all sorts of interesting ways, sometimes dramatic, sometimes absurd, sometimes comic, sometimes cartoon-like. So when you get these dream states, that's how you process the information you've taken in throughout the day. So when we go to sleep, what happens is our consciousness takes a really deep dip into NREM sleep, which is these 4 healing stages, and you come up to a lighter sleep, and at a particular point of lightness, and you slip into the REM sleep, which is your dream. So throughout the night you have an NREM, then a REM, an NREM and a REM, an NREM and a REM, and gradually as you go through the night you're slowly raising your vibrational level so that by the time it's daytime you stay back into the normal state of everyday consciousness, which is what we call the beta brain rhythm. So this is what everybody does, so that's been a real eye-opener to me. What really started to shock me was the consequences, immediate and long-term, of sleep deprivation. So this is my big issue, is people are hopped up from too much stimulation, from information coming in through screens and through taking the tea and the coffee and other stimulants. This isn't helpful for the person. So that means we're not going to get the quality sleep that we want. But also the other thing that happens, actually people have short sleep. A lot of people, they think it's a really cool thing to do, to go out with a bunch of mates and to stay up really late and go to bed late at night or even early in the morning. What they're then doing is they're missing all those key stages of deep healing and those stages of integration of what they've been throughout the day. They've missed them all, and they end up with a much shorter time period. So supposing it's say 4 or 5 hours, this really did this to me. You've only got to have one short sleep of 4 to 5 hours, and if you drive a car the following day, you are 11.5 times more likely to be involved in a road traffic accident. It's that serious. So when it comes to sleep deprivation, it's not something we can ignore. It's actually life-threatening. And they've done research with truckers in America, and some truckers have actually been known to drive for 30 hours straight, probably drinking Red Bull all the way through. And what happens to a person's consciousness when they don't sleep at all for a long period of time is as follows. Every single metabolic function goes out of whack. Your hormones are all over the place, and you become stressed, you become tired, your reaction time drops dramatically, and you're very likely, especially if you're at the wheel, to actually nod off. Now, you've only got to nod off for a few seconds and you could have just created a fatal accident involving you and many other people. If you're on the motorway, for example, it's that serious. So when people say do not drive when tired, they really mean this. This is a life-threatening issue. So if you ever are really tired when you're driving, you've got to pull over and give yourself 45 minutes will do it. If you have 45 minutes where you just totally chill out and you sleep for some of that time, you get back. The next thing you've got to be very important awareness. You don't start driving straight away. After you wake up, you've got to get out of the car and move around, give your body a bit of exercise, only for 30 seconds, and you can get back in the car and drive. You will be so much safer, so much less likely to cause an accident. So I think you can begin to see that sleep is of pivotal importance. So here's the next thing that really grabbed me hard. If a person has a period of time where they don't get enough sleep, what you would say, okay, supposing they lost 2 hours a night for so many nights, supposing it's 10 nights, well, if they do the same number of 2 hours over the next 10 nights, they'll be sorted, they'll be back to health. No, it doesn't work that way. The research shows beyond doubt that long-term sleep deprivation takes a long time to recover from and heal. So it's really important to understand the need for a decent length of sleep. So the big question is, so what are you supposed to do? I think about Margaret Thatcher, because Margaret Thatcher was famous for going to bed at 2 o'clock in the morning and getting up at 6. She never had more than 4 hours sleep. Now, the research does show that there's a very small percentage of people that can get away with this, but the vast majority of us get permanently harmed if you were to do that. And even one night is enough to set a load of really serious changes into motion. So bearing that fact in mind, now that we realise it's so important to get enough sleep, the key figure is between 7.5 and 8 hours a night. If you get that as a minimum, as your average, you're going to be absolutely fine. And this will mean as follows. Your skin quality will improve, you will have brighter eyes, you will be more energetic, you'll be more willing to communicate with people and share and go out into the world and do what you need to do and do your work. And people will notice that you actually look more attractive. And the other thing is that you're now prolonging your lifespan. Just add all that together, it's incredible, isn't it? All those things, your appetite will improve, your respiration will improve, and you'll feel better in yourself. You're more likely to feel relaxed and enjoying life just because you're sleeping enough. So when you go out into the streets, just realise if there's a lot of angry people around, the people looking really depressed, just think about how many of those have got disturbed sleep. Alcohol, of course, completely messes up your sleep cycle. And the other thing to totally avoid at all costs is all sleeping pills. All sleeping pills have the capacity to destroy your ability to get the deep healing sleep. You just don't get it. So it's very important to find all the strategies to get off sleeping pills as soon as you can do. It's very helpful to employ any practice like reflexology, meditation, massage, just being out in wild nature. That will all calm you down and put you into a much better position for a sleep. The other really good thing you can do is you can take yourself and have an Epsom salts bath and put some lavender drops in there. Now the lavender will calm you down, and that will help you, and the Epsom salts will detox you. If you don't have a bath, you can have a shower and you can get an Epsom salt spray. Have a shower as normal, then spray your body with the Epsom salt spray afterwards. Here's the golden key. Most people are seriously deficient in magnesium. Yeah, the population of the world is chronically magnesium deficient. As soon as you start taking an Epsom salts bath or an Epsom salt spray, you will find that will improve your mood, and depression will lift, and you'll feel so much better in every way because you're being detoxed. So this is the thing, if you spray yourself with a magnesium spray and you can feel a stinging or a tingling sensation in your skin, your body is saying, I'm seriously deficient in magnesium. If you keep using your magnesium spray after every shower, you will soon find that that tingling will reduce, and after not very long you won't have any tingling at all. You'll just spray it on, it feel like water. Here's the other thing to be aware of. There are foods which are rich in magnesium, especially raw chocolate, but there's a downside. The downside about foods is that the gut is very poor at absorbing magnesium. The skin is very good at absorbing magnesium, so this will really help you to prepare for sleep by having a nice hot Epsom salts bath with some lavender. So we've only just scratched the surface of the subject of sleep. As you can see, you could save your life and other people's life by making sure you never drive tired, and you can be aware of having a good length of time of sleep, not staying up excessively late with friends, and doing all the things to calm and relax you. And don't forget, also calming, relaxing music before you go to bed is really great, and any TV show which promotes a sense of well-being where you feel good, something inspiring, and as little violence as possible. So we'll go into sleep in more detail at another time. Thank you.